Hey everybody, Fifth Horseman here, playing more Kerbal Space Program, and we are launching our refueler ship to Jool. I'm not going to show you too much of this, but I am going to really quickly show you. I'm bringing these 3 fuel tanks up here. There's a docking port at the bottom, and then there's separators, whatever they're called, the things that break them apart between them. And let me bring the GUI back up so I can actually see what I'm doing. And these things are going to, their entire point is to attach to my ship that's going to Pol, so he has enough fuel to get to Pol and back on his lonesome. And up at Pol, I have attached these things to each other so that, there we go, these guys, I should have fixed this guy so that I didn't have to rotate while I was... I didn't have to rotate while I was in the air. I could have set the other tanks to drop first. That would have been the smart thing to do. But we can slowly rotate this guy. Because I need to rotate him because as I turn him, if you recall, the last time I launched him, I don't remember if I actually launched him, like, showing you what I was doing. But the last guy I launched... I had to rotate because these things will fall into the center stack. And the act of rotating him, of course, for some reason draws him off the center line, which is, I'm going to say, less than ideal. But we're starting our gravity turn slightly early, also less than ideal, but this thing has so much delta V in it. When I get into orbit, this thing still has over 10,000 delta V. And I actually, in my test launches, I was dropping this thing before it was even out of fuel, just because it only had a couple hundred delta V left in it when I reached orbit. So it really wasn't worth keeping. But anyway, we're cruising up. I'm not going to make you see this. I am going to come back to you when I am at Tylo with this guy, and we're ready to go to Pol for the final part of our mission before this thing comes home. Hopefully before 0.24 comes out. That's my goal. We've got our ships. Almost a collision these guys had. This guy here came sliding in this way and stopped himself just outside the other ship, which is pretty awesome. We are all ready for the guys to go to Pol, and they're going to take this fuel with them, which I've thought many times should be more than enough. I actually think that they could get to Pol with what they have here. But this will allow them to get to Pol, probably dropping 1 or 2 of these on the way, and then using a little bit of this one to help them get home. Undock. And let's see. Actually, we don't need this one yet. We need this one, which has Rissable Kerbin, the only non-viewer Kerman ever in this series. Gonna decouple this. Actually, wait, we're gonna make sure these all still have their fuel in them. Make sure it didn't. And look, we got tons of fuel in this guy. He's got over half of his fuel left. So, you know, I thought that before. Let's go ahead and decouple this node, and then we can jump to this guy. Set that Clampatron as a target. This ship is going to be crazy long, but what are you going to do? Let's control from here. Turn the computer on. What are we doing here? Let's turn our good old-fashioned HUD on here. We want to aim ourselves a little bit to this side of that. And just give it a little bit of thrust. Because the last thing we want to do... Okay, let's do it. Put our controls on here. The last thing we want to do is crash into one of these guys' solar panels. Because these ships are all kind of tightly intermixed right now. So let's actually turn off the RCS for a second, get ourselves aligned with our fuel tanks. There we go. Okay, you've seen this. I'll come back when I'm burning myself to Pol. Okay, I've got these guys hooked together. At some point, Rissable will move himself over to one of these empty command pods. More importantly, though, I have a minor little 36 meter per second burn that's going to touch Pol's orbit, and then a slightly larger 200 and some odd meter per second burn. That will get me a nice orbit that's 0% inclined, 0 degrees inclined, I should say. And then we just have to fiddle until we get an actual encounter. Okay, we are here, and I have used up none of the fuel in these guys. And I used up half of the fuel in this guy. Now, I don't think that I could have done this completely without this. And when I say here, what I really mean is I'm in the sphere of influence, which has nothing to do with actually being at the planet. One thing, though, that I'm going to do is I'm going to burn myself radially inward, which is this guy here. The lines are always pointing towards the blue thing. If you use either this HUD or the enhanced nav ball, or if you want to be more pedestrian, maneuver nodes will do the same thing. If you drop a maneuver node, it's this one right here. But we don't need no stinking maneuver nodes. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Okay, so I'm going to burn radially inward to get my periapsis down to, let's say, I don't know, 30 kilometers. 28. Looks good to me. And then we're going to add a maneuver here to actually get us in orbit. Roughly 30 by 30. Doesn't have to be exact. But that's going to take 255. So yeah, we definitely had enough Delta V to get into orbit. I don't know if we had enough to land and then come back up and then get back to the other ship. But we probably could have just brought one of these fuel tanks when it comes down to it. I am, though, going to... Oops, out. I am going to fill this guy up so he has enough Delta V to actually achieve what he's trying to do here, which is get into this orbit. And in the meantime, I'm going to do the same thing, or I'm going to do what I should have done at BOP, which is I'm going to observe this materials bay and this mystery goo, and I'm going to keep them. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to observe this materials bay and this mystery goo, and I'm going to keep them because I can always reset them later. And then depending on if we can get low science or not, I'll reset one and I'll then take the other one down with me. That's efficiency. Okay, let's go ahead and get ourselves aimed correctly. You've seen me get into orbit a billion times, so I'm not going to show you that. I'll come back when I'm getting ready to land. Hey, I used up a fuel tank. I'm so proud of myself. I'm actually going to leave it attached for the time being, and let's go ahead and put this in here. So he's nice and full. We are in a nice orbit, excuse me, and what we're going to do here is we're still not low over BOP, or low over pole, I should say. We're definitely not low over BOP. So we are going to reset that. We're going to reset this material bay. And we're going to reset this mystery goo. We're going to collect these. I'm going to reconnoiter the ships. While I'm collecting these, I'll tell you what I'm going to do here as far as the ships are concerned. I love how his head can be in the container and he can't reach it. Collect the data. We are going to hook these two guys up to him, and then we're going to dump this one away. Then he's going to sit up here with these fuel tanks while he goes down. So I'll be back when we're ready to land here. Okay, I'm doing a fairly aggressive landing maneuver because BOP is pole, whatever frick planet this is so low pole. However, I think now that I'm looking at this, I'm going to flip this guy. Actually, first of all, I'm going to decouple this guy. I brought him with me so he'd crash into the surface when I was done with him. Now I'm going to flip around. And I'm actually going to accelerate just a little bit to make sure we clear that big mountain range. Now let's stay to there. That's fine. Okay, so now that this mystery goo and science container will crash to the surface like we want it to, we're going to plan our litho braking here. What is that going to be? 130 meters per second. A tiny, tiny 130 meters per second. Let's go ahead and get ourselves aimed in that direction. It's got to be down here somewhere. There we go. Oops. Helps if you actually aim at it. Whoa, this guy's very spry, although I guess he could be less spry. Or more spry, whatever. He's pretty spry for a little capsule like he is. Okay, and at some point we're going to get the low over pole science. So let's go ahead and just watch this. We don't really need the HUD anymore, and the game's a little bit prettier without it. There we go. I guess it's 21 something, which is kind of weird. Temperature, mystery goo, material study, gravity scan, crew report, keep. EVA report. Let's go ahead and take that EVA report. Let's collect everything out of the capsule and hop back in. And let's go ahead and put our landing gear down. I assume we're still going to clear the mountains. Oh yeah, this planet doesn't rotate barely at all. Okay, we are... oh wait. Oh, I laid that maneuver node down. I don't actually need it. It's 131 meters per second, which is an 11-second burn. So 11 seconds before we're going to die, we can hit the gas. He says as he hits F5. Okay, let's go ahead and head on down here. We probably want surface display so we know how far from crashing we are. Okay, we are 45 seconds from crashing, give or take. We're coming in. This nice little depression here might be geologically significant. Who knows? I don't know if Encro is a kerbologist. That would be their geologist, kerbologist. I don't know. Kerbinagist. Okay, I'm gonna hit the gas because I'm getting scared. Okay, things are looking better now. Getting a little bit of ground scatter. Should probably go into, let's see, not orbital, chase mode, auto mode. I guess auto is the correct mode here. Oh yeah, this is the planet with all the spikies on the surface, isn't it? That's not what I wanted. I want to stay in auto mode. I want to bring up my HUD. Oh yeah, we're basically going straight down, which is fine by me. Let's actually get ourselves aimed perfectly upright. We can actually use this HUD here to arrest our horizontal motion to basically 0. Which is pretty freaking cool when you think about it. I just used my RCS to put this dot right over the center here. And it looks like we're coming down close to one of these spikes, but not on it. It also looks like we're on kind of a not exactly flat area. But I think that this guy has enough torque, and he's got these solar panels, that I don't think we need to worry about that too much. Yeah, we're not gonna hit this. We're not gonna hit this spike, which is good. Yeah, it is basically noon. Problem is, I basically have to not be thrusting to not accelerate upward. Okay, just let this guy come to his own rest here. Looks good to me. I'm just gonna let it sit there. It's getting enough power from the sun to not worry about it. Okay, temperature, seismic, mystery goo, material study, crew report. Keep all those. And let's do an EVA report. You, Encro, have just completed not just the Joolpollo mission, but the Kerpollo mission. You are the last guy to land on any planet except Kerbin. I hope you are sufficiently impressed with that. Okay, let's go and take this. Take this. I guess the seismic data is in the other thing. Mario Kerman, the science is in the other. collect the data. Okay, you have all the datas you could ever want. Let's go ahead and store those in the command pod before we do anything else rash here. Like, say, not grabbing the ladder. Store all your experiments. Oh, apparently we have an extra one. No big deal. Okay, let's... These spiky things are cool looking. Okay, let's go ahead and this looks good for me. 09 Kerpollo, Polpollo, these spiky things are cool looking. Ankro. Okay. I think we can successfully, or we can call this mission a success. We have everything we could ever possibly want. Except for to dump these things. Let them fall off, breaking my solar panels in the process. Nope, okay. Let them tumble across the surface. We're basically, set that as our target. We're just going to launch in the direction of it, which is probably this way? I don't know. Yeah, my target is that way. So, we are going to launch. It looks like it's up on the nav ball. Yeah. And I'm watching my apoapsis. I don't want it to get above 25. And it got over 25. Oh well, that's what you have RCS for. Actually, no, I'll do this kind of the right way. Actually, let's go ahead and out here. It's not letting me set my... Oh, I also did this poorly too. Let's burn south. And when I say south, I actually mean burning south. There we go. Now, here, let's add a maneuver to not crash back into the surface, but instead... looking for a connection right there, and that gets us above the surface, so we're good. This is what we're gonna do. Okay, do the burn a little late, but that's what happens when you time warp too fast. Not a big deal. Should be able to still get a good connection here. 0.7 kilometers. There we go. And I left my engine running because I suck. Okay. That's what RCS is for. 0.5. There we go. 0.1 kilometers. That is perfect. Okay. Add this guy here. Closest distance, 150 meters. That's pretty good. Let's go and add that alarm. And it's been a while since we've done this, so let's go ahead and enjoy ourselves here by hitting F2. Then hitting F5 to make sure that we don't crash. Actually, free mode is what we want. Woohoo! A little bit closer than I thought we were going to be. Oh, there's Jool. That was fun. Like the highest point on the planet. And there's where we landed. No, wait, there's where we landed. I guess there's little dark spots everywhere. Replace the target, close alarm, and then pause. Let's go. We don't need to do any of those things. Okay, we just need to slow ourselves down in relation to the target and get our... Oh, he's getting close. Let's go ahead and aim retrograde here. That's prograde. Let's go ahead and aim retrograde here. We're only going 13 meters per second, so it's not like we need to worry that much. Let's speed up time a little bit. Okay, we're definitely within the realm of slowing down to 0 here. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and aim ourselves at our target. Whoopsie. There we go. Flip over to this guy. He can't aim at the target for some reason. Control from here. I guess I'll just do this. For lack of anything better. I'll turn on this so I can... That's not going to be exact, but it's just weird. I can't... Oh, there it is. There we go. Now I can aim at my target. Okay, now flip back to you. I should be able to set the docking port as a target, looking directly into the sun, which is awesome. Let's go ahead and rotate this guy this way. .3 meters per second is just fine by me. Just using time warp so I don't have to wait through this. Correcting every once in a while. Okay, this should be good. 15 meters away. You lift your landing gear down, Ankro. It's not very... whatever of you. I don't know what it would be. And... I just realized I might have left some science in the experiments. I don't actually remember if I did or not. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let you go. I'm going to collect this science. And then I'm going to do my return. You don't need to see that, though. Depending on if this episode was long enough, I am going to... there we go. Nicely done. I'm going to either cut it off here, or I'm just going to do the entire return. I don't know yet. So either I will be back in 10 seconds, or I've enjoyed doing this poll mission. I hope you enjoyed watching me. I am Fifth Horseman, and I will, as always, talk at you later.